Hey, good evening, everybody. It's a Monday night stream. I know that's unusual, but it was the only date that I could get my fantastic guest on that I've got lined up for you this evening. I'm going to bring them on in 2 seconds' time. You may have seen them; they've been on a few podcasts recently, but fairly new in the public scene. Although they've been doing SEO for quite some time, so we'll find out all about them in a moment. Let me just quickly say hello. Who have we got in tonight? Um, Carl's here. Good to see you. Let's say hello to the Eagles first. Daniel's in. Daniel, I think, is the only. Oh, no. Gadget Mike. Good to see you. And Carl as well. Hope you're all well. And then we've got Adrian and Chris and Colin. Fruitback Cat. Edward's here. Gaz. Good to see you. Helen, have a horn. In love with Thailand here. Yep, is here. I've seen you for ages. And James is in the chat, by the way, so he may answer your questions in there as well as on the screen. We've got Miss Wicks, Miss WKS. We've got Michelle. We've got Paul. We've got Phil from the Spiderweb, and then we've got the Dad Gamer. So without much more of an ado, let me bring on my guest. Okay, here he is. Here's James. Good to see you, James.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I do realise that my audio may have been weird on that intro, but hopefully you got your hellos. I'm on the right mic now. Thanks for the heads up. So, James, for those people out there that may not know who you are, could you give me a little background about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so about 13 years ago, started out in the construction industry. Realised that I needed a consistent flow of inquiries for the company that I was working for. Had a website built, realised I needed to optimise the website, didn't have a clue how to optimise the website, and then everything started really from there. Started to try and understand what was needed, went down the white hat route, went down the black hat route, trying to work whichever way it was to be kind of money hat, and just tried to get as many inquiries as I could at the time. Was probably one of the worst SEOs you can ever come across for the first 2 or 3 years. But I suppose everyone's like that. And then things started to click into place. Probably I'd say about 9 years ago. And then things started going well, and then got hit with a lot of panda penalties and penguin penalties and every other penalty you can think of. But we've over the time we scaled out a lot of sites, so it was like some sites got hit, some sites kind of doubled in traffic, and then quickly realized that we need our own in-house testing team. So I think that's probably been probably my most successful thing that I've ever done. Because from there, then I listen to a lot of like the SEO myths in the industry, and then I can test it firsthand myself in the real SERPs, and what might work well in one niche might not in the next. So prime example, I'm in the casino market, iGaming, the whole iGaming, so it's like sports betting and stuff like that. I'm in that quite heavily. I'm in the finance market, and then I'm in a lot of like local lead gen as well. And they're all very, very, very different in the way that you need to set up the SEO, whether it's from a link building point or content optimization point and topical authority point. I've got different teams now doing different parts, because one might be very good at finance, but not very good at local or casino, which I don't think people talk enough about. I think people just think it's one algorithm and that's it, and it works the same in every industry, but it's not really the case.
No. Okay. By the way, people out there, if you've got any questions, just put them in the chat, and I'll ask them as and when I see them. So let's go back to the start. I'd imagine SEO was quite different back then, right?
Yeah, very different. Yeah, if you got your keywords in the title tag and then you hit it with a few links, you ranked. That's pretty much how it used to work.
That's how it worked. And there were so many people back then. I still remember making so many mistakes. You know, they'd build their website in Flash, for example, so that Google can index it. They wouldn't use title tags or headings or anything like that. And things like that. You had the meta keywords tag, right, and the meta description tag, and they actually had quite a big effect.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
The good old days, I guess.
Meta descriptions and meta keywords used to work, and now obviously they're zero value. But yeah, they used to work well, to be fair.
So when did you move from doing SEO for your own site, your construction company, to thinking you want to do it for clients and expand your own portfolio of sites?
So that's a great question, because I never really set out to do SEO or lead generation for other companies. So what started to happen was I'd do it for my own site. I then started ranking number one for all the keywords that I wanted to, and then I had a good mentor back in the day. I'm still good friends with him now, and he said, "Yeah, you're number one, but you're not number two." And I'm like, "No, I'm number one. Why would I want to be number two?" And he's like, "Why don't you build a second site and get number one and number two for all the keywords that are profitable?" So that's kind of how it evolved. So we built out a second site, a third site, and a fourth site. Tried to make them all slightly different, going after slight different, now what we call LSIs, or slightly different intent of keywords, but the same products and service.
Can you just clarify
And then,
what LSI is for my audience, but who may not know all the
yeah,
acronyms?
sorry. Yeah, latent semantic indexing. So it just means like variations of the keywords of what you're trying to go for. So let's say in bingo or casino, you're going after the brand with review. The brand with promo code or voucher code has got a different intent than just the review.
Yeah.
So you kind of build that out, and they're obviously different LSIs. But with regards to the construction company, it was mainly for our own stuff until we started to realise if we could get our clients busier, and we was doing work for them. So we've got a successful playground surfacing company in the UK, and build like tennis courts and sports pitches as well and stuff like that, like football pitches and stuff. But if we could get the landscapers busier to win the work, or the main construction companies to win the work, and we won the work off them, we started to kind of what we class as being shouldering niches. So like what industries kind of would be able to cross-sell us more kind of.
The kind of complement what you're doing, and then you all grow up together and you've all got work. And
that's kind of how it grew. And then obviously then things just started to become less needed for us. So anything that we did quite a lot of work in schools and stuff like that. So anything that a school needed, we was then trying to rank for. And then we ended up turning into like roofing, cladding, windows, everything basically, like carpet cleaning. It doesn't matter what it was. We kind of got into the industry. And at that point then the lead generation company kind of surpassed where the construction company was. And the construction company is still doing well today. It's called Soft Services in the UK. It's built up now from probably about doing 400,000 a year to doing over 8 million.
wow.
So it's a decent sized company.
That's decent, yeah.
Yeah, the construction side of things. But the lead generation side's now, like, it probably took over it about 4 or 5 years ago. And now obviously the lead generation's just massively surpassed it now. And we're in over 800 different industries.
Wow. So your lead generation stuff that you do, is that is that just in Manchester, or do you do that across the whole country or around the world, or where are your clients on that one?
It's just UK, but nationwide in the UK. So there's 43,000 towns and cities in the UK. So we do every single area that there is, from John O'Groats in Scotland down to kind of Devon. We'll cover every single area. Ideally, we'd like working with companies that do work nationwide, but if someone does work just in a specific area, let's say just Manchester or London or Newcastle, we can do that as well. But in general, it's anywhere in the UK, but we've never really expanded. So many ask us, why do you not do it like outside the UK and go into the US market for like solar panels and stuff like that, or rehab and stuff like that, which are very profitable industries. But it's there's just too much to do in the UK, if I'm being honest. I don't really need to keep growing it.
No. Wow. That's fantastic reach. I thought you were more local than that. That's great. Let me take a couple of questions quickly and then we'll carry on. Is building out different local landing pages a good idea?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every what I would do is every single search that you do in Google, if it brings back a different set of results, it deserves a different page. So if you type in playground repair and then you type in playground equipment or playground surfacing, it's a different page. But if you went and typed in playground repair in London and playground repair in Newcastle and it came out with a different set of results, that deserves a different page. So if a different set of results show up, it needs a different page. And that's kind of how we kind of
I guess
do
generally
my
your
own.
page needs to match the query or the keyword as closely as possible, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Really,
for sure. Yeah.
and they're different things. Okay. This is quite an obvious question. Thoughts on backlinks? Do they work? I think I know your answer to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not if you write bad content and build backlinks, it won't rank. So some people are obsessed by backlinks and think it's the holy grail. It's definitely not the holy grail of SEO, because you still need good quality content. You still need to make certain you're building topical authority. As a company, we're a holistic SEO, so we do all things right. We want to try and make certain that we're covering EEAT, that we're getting the foundational backlinks when we're first building the site, that we've got like an about us page, an address, a telephone number set up on the site. So we're a trusted site of like moving forward. And then when you need good quality content, many people use different tools for optimization. The fact, if anyone's using any type of tool for optimization of content, you're probably in the top 5% of SEOs. Some people to this day still aren't understanding what entities are needed on the page. I think it's very important to use this one of several, whether it's Page Optimizer Pro, Surfer, Market Moves, whichever one it is that you want to use, that's fine as long as you're using one to understand what you need to cover at a page level. And then yes,
Okay.
backlinks are a huge factor as well.
Of course. The Dad Gamer's got a lot of questions here. I want to pick up a little bit more on links in a second, but thoughts on blog posting for service pages. So I think what that question is about. So if you are a local business, is it worth publishing content on a blog?
It depends on the industry. So if you was, let's say you're a carpet cleaning company and I would write blogs on the carpet cleaning kind of business blog about how to remove red wine from your carpet. And you give certain insights of information of how to remove red wine or how to remove blood from a carpet and stuff like that. But try to make it difficult for them and saying certain solutions, which you might sell as, let's say, being affiliated to the solutions that you use. But then kind of say, look, if you want it done for you, why don't you just get a professional in to come and do the carpet?
So this is how you could do it, but it'd be far easier just to pay us and we'll do it. Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. So I do a lot of how-to type guides or what is guides, and then kind of funnel it to be, this is what we do, and come to us.
Yeah, and I think in terms of link building, would it not be easier to attract links to those kind of pages rather than your services pages?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we always try and build branded anchors to the homepage and then generally hit the blogs, because the more like you said, the more likely that those pages would get the links. Where if it's just an exact match kind of monitor a keyword, not many people are going to, well, no one's really going to rank, link to that. And I think Google's starting to know that if you're building all your links to your money pages, it's not going to work very well.
No. So in terms of link building, a lot of people I think become overwhelmed and confused in terms of where to start with link building. What's your approach in terms of attracting links to a site?
So our approach is we will get all the foundational pillar links in place to the homepage, naked URLs. So that is like www.thedomainname.co.uk or .com. Then go and get a load of branded links, again, all to the homepage initially, and just power up the homepage. And then obviously with your silo structure, you can start internal links to your category pages, and then your category pages can link down to the specific kind of web pages, the money pages that you're trying to rank for as well. Then once you've done kind of a base layer of links, then we start to tap some links to, we always try to create some articles or blog posts that could naturally actually get links. But for those articles to naturally get links, they need to rank in the first place. So what we'll do is we'll write some really good guides or statistical kind of pages, survey type pages, data pages, try and hit links to those pages initially to get them ranking. And then naturally, as that page is ranking, you might start getting picked up by some reporters or journalists that might be talking about that subject and link back to you. Then we do start doing some, whether it's niche edits or guest posts to certain money pages, but we try and hit the money pages last. And I think too many people get it wrong because they just start building the main money pages and then start hitting those money pages with links. And I don't think that's the right way of doing it. Well, I've got a lot of data to tell me it's not the right way of doing it.
No, that makes sense. But in terms of actually getting these links, do you just go out and buy them? Is that the easiest way?
Yeah. Is we buy some. So all the pillow links we buy. So we just go on to certain places that you can hire like VAs, virtual assistants, to do like your directories or your citations and stuff like that. It's places like Freelancer, People Per Hour, Upwork, and stuff like that that can do the directories and stuff for you. You do try to create some articles out there that could attract natural links, or try to create some images that people might want to use, or infographics that people might want to use, so you can naturally start to get picked up, that people start using. You can do like a reverse image lookup. Anyone who's using your image, you kind of outreach to them to say, can you credit the source? That's copywriting, for instance. It's our image. But yes, initially you need the domain power. So people kind of frown upon, should you be buying links or should you not? Generally speaking, you need backlinks to rank. And initially, you probably need to give it that boost with guest posts and niche edits, or some people use PBNs and stuff like that. You could do digital PR campaign if you want to, but to start with, it's expensive. And a lot of the digital PR links, even though they might be on authoritative sites, they're normally no follow. So they're not really going to give you the page rank kind of distribution that your site needs to rank. So yes, you probably do need to go and try to acquire some backlinks.
Okay. Well, I know you've tested a lot of things, so let me ask you a couple of questions on some of the stuff that you may have tested and may know the answer to, because I've got a question here from Gaz. But also, just on that no-follow linking, is a no-follow link of value?
Yes, it absolutely is. Even more value than it ever has been. We did a lot of tests on no-follow, and now it's nowhere near as powerful as a do-follow link, but even unlinked mentions nowadays can shift the needle. So trying to get as many mentions of your brand on the internet as you can will help your site rank better.
So yeah, that's interesting. And I know you work with Kazra, and he's mentioned that as well, that even if someone says on an article that James Dooley is an SEO expert, then Google takes that into account. And if it sees that enough, it then starts to link the two together, even if they're not linking to you personally on your website or whatever, or on your social media. That's interesting. So another one that you may have tested, and this was something, again, we talked about the other week, is in terms of metrics that Google likes to see. Now, Nick at Search Birmingham, he is very big on building sites and ranking without any links, because he believes in delivering a great user experience through good content. So what metrics are Google actually looking at? And in terms of your testing, which ones have you seen really move the needle? I think last time Kazra was on, he said that click-through rate is especially important. So that's the number of people that click through from Google against the number of impressions. But what other metrics do you think really have an effect?
Again, I will kind of bring back to the point of holistically, you need to make certain you're doing all things. So believe it or not, people don't want to believe this, but it is true, is that if you actually started running PPC to your page, to your site, you will actually gain in rankings. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute that because you're bidding on PPC, Google kind of reward you better, but it's an indirect ranking factor, and it's the click-through rate through to your site of the traffic and engagement and behavioral signals that then people do by clicking on other pages. I've tested it firsthand, and I've tested it in hundreds of niches. If you started running some PPC, it would slightly help your site. I'm not saying it's a big ranking factor, but it helps. So then knowing that traffic helps, if you started to grow your social media kind of subscribers and audience and directed those people through to your site, that's also a ranking factor. Traffic is a big ranking factor through to your site. You need to try and find it in as many places as possible. We've bought certain websites that their content of their website and their backlink profile of their website wasn't very good, yet they was earning over £25,000 a month, and literally 90% of the traffic that was gained was from Pinterest. So we quickly then started to write some pages, and nearly every single page that we wrote on that site ranked so easily, and it was only a DR7 site. So when you start talking about a backlink's a massive factor, they're not the only factor, because we had a DR7 site that we built up to a huge it was doing over 500,000 monthly searches. So
wow,
traffic's a big part. Good quality content. Don't cheap out on content. Making certain that you're covering the topic in its entirety at a page level. So getting all good H2s and H3s that are needed on the page. Then covering the topic with regards to related topics of what you need to do, which is what Nick Jordan does a great job at. He builds up great topical authority on the site, good quality content and topical authority, and then backlinks. And they're the main 5 pillars are a good quality, technical, well-built site, which I also include EEAT, kind of making certain you're ticking all the boxes from like telephone number, email address and stuff like that on the site. Good quality content, topical authority, traffic, and backlinks. Get them
that's if you had to distill SEO down in just a few words, that's what it is, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. This is a slightly more philosophical kind of question, which is from Marco. Marco. He just arrives. He asks, if you had to start today, imagine someone had taken away all of your websites, what would you do? What kind of niche would you choose? I mean, would you even, I guess you would start a website of some kind. And would you use any AI content, paid backlinks? Just, kind of, if you were reset back to zero, what would you start with?
If I reset back to zero, but could I still have my knowledge of what I know now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. So if I reset back to zero, I would build out 2 or 3 local lead gen sites in my local area. I would reach out to 20 different companies for each site to see whether they're interested in just taking the leads initially and just pay me on a back end on a conversion rate. In local, you probably don't need many backlinks. So I would probably I'd probably just set up like a Twitter account, just like a bit of a social fortress around the site and write 30 or 40 pages. Yes, I could use AI. I'm not against AI, if I'm being honest. I think with the right prompts, AI can write sometimes better than humans can write.
Yeah.
So I've seen so much, like, I don't know if anyone follows Julian Goldie. I'd highly recommend following him because he's got some amazing prompts of what he uses, and he's built several sites from 0 to over 300,000 clicks a month just using AI, using auto blogging. They because that kind of pulls in images and pulls in videos, and it's got the right prompts on the page of what you need to do. And yeah, I'd build those out until those started earning money, and then I'd start in the background once I've got those sites earning money, start entering a few of the more difficult kind of industries like mortgage brokers and stuff like that, and go down that route where you're going to get paid more per lead than, let's say, a local plumber or a local carpet cleaner, but it's harder to rank in those industries. So I'd start off with the easiest ones where you might earn £200, £300, £400 a month. Start building up to the bigger ones where you might earn 500, 600, £1,000 a month. Until then, bit by bit, you can build it up to some of the most lucrative kind of like markets that there is, where you might earn 30, £40,000 a month. That's in lead gen.
Yeah. But, so on the lead gen scale there, what kind of industries are at the low end and which ones are at the top end in terms of competition and then the value of the leads, I guess?
I think anyone who's got an Ahrefs account can kind of go in and start searching. Probably the easiest way to go into Ahrefs, type in near me, and then sort by CPC. And if you go sort by CPC, at the top, you're going to get all the most lucrative niches.
Is that like the lawyers and the I don't know,
exactly.
Finance kind of people?
Anything in law is generally pretty good. So like divorce lawyer and stuff like that. They're all good. In the finance sector, things like invoice factoring, that's absolutely out of this world. So if you could generate leads for invoice factoring, you could probably earn 60 to 70,000 pound a month. Wow. Just on that one niche. But it's let me
just get this clear in my head in terms of the process for setting up like a rank and rent. You would build the site up first and try and get it ranking and getting some traffic in, and then you would approach potential clients. I guess that's the best way around, because you could say, I've got this site, it's getting this amount of traffic, we could probably generate you this kind of lead volume, and then Yes, you could do it that way. If
if you knew that you was going to be able to rank it, which I know that I can rank it, I might actually contact a few of them from the get-go, because I might want to use some of their images and some of their videos. So I might say, look, I'm not going to charge you a penny to build a site. I'm not going to charge you a penny for the SEO. I'm not going to charge you a penny for the inquiries that I send you through. All what I'm asking you to do is add me something on in the back end. So it's a no-brainer for the businesses, absolute no-brainer. Why would they not want to do that? Because they've still got their own website, which can generate leads. This is just an extra income of leads. If someone ever came to me and said, I'll generate you leads for some of the stuff that we do, but you only need to pay us out of your winnings, of course I'd do it. Why would I not do it? Like, extra business. So at that point then, if someone kind of likes what you do, they're probably going to help you by, they might even allow you to use their address. If they've not already got a GMB at their address, you could use their address for a GMB. You can put some of their details on the About Us page as being a real person that might already have accreditations and awards for that industry. We normally only do that further down once we've, because to start with, we normally go broad and go with 15, 20 different companies. And then from there, then they say the cream rises to the top. So from there, then what you'll do is you might narrow it down to the best 2 or 3, see who's going to be worth to start paying the most. And then at that point, you might start saying, can we add your staff onto our website on the About Us page? Can we even add your company number? Basically, this site can be seen as being you, but it's just owned by us and we rent it out to them. And
so
that's kind of...
Did they not get funny that you're kind of competing with their own website?
Not at all, because if they can get leads from their own website as well, then happy days. And they, as long as you've got to remember, a lot of these people don't properly understand SEO. They've probably had their fingers burnt 10 times over by SEO.
By those SEO companies that just took their money and sent them a report every month about some
exactly that. Stuff. So these people are business owners, and what do they actually give a shit about? And it's the bottom line.
They want business, yeah.
They want to make profit. So if I'm going to guarantee them profit, they're going to say yes. Like, why would they not say yes? Do you know what I mean? So, like, we're one of very few people in the industry that can pretty much guarantee profit to our customers. And it gets to a point where I've got a very happy team. I've got a very happy sales team, because when they're speaking to the clients, generally all the clients are happy. The only thing normally they're saying is, can you generate us more leads?
Well, that's a good problem to have. So the rank and rent websites, they would just have one of your clients or not? They wouldn't be like a kind of, you can get leads from 4 or 5 different companies. Say it was like a building kind of website. You wouldn't have 4 or 5 builders on there.
So we actually have some websites that are the plural. So it could be like best plumbers. And then on there, we might have 4 or 5 different companies on. But generally speaking, if we've got a site that we build out that might cost us maybe £15,000-20,000 to build out from start to finish, full content done, topical authority done, backlinks done, probably costing the remit of around that in an easy niche, we should really be getting maybe £1,000-2,000 a month. So normally within 1 year, we've got our money back, is where we're at in an easy niche. In the harder niches, it might cost us £60,000-70,000 to build the site, but we could be earning £5,000-7,000 a month. So again, normally within a year, we've got our money back. But Alex, you've got to remember, like, we've failed so many times in the industry. We now know what we're doing, where others might not have them same results. So I don't want to kind of be seen as being a financial advisor and say within 12 months you'll get your money back of what you spend on a site.
No, you've obviously burnt for a lot of money and time and blood, sweat and tears to get to that point. You know what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean, it might cost us 100,000 to get to where we might be able to do it in 10, 15.
So that's interesting. So then you just charge the client a fixed monthly fee just to be on the site, basically to have access. It's not like a pay per lead thing or anything like that.
So we if they want pay per lead, we can go pay per lead. But normally what starts to happen is they normally go onto a pay per lead model because that's what they're used to. But after a while, let's say they was paying on average £7,000 a month. If I say to them, look, why don't we do a rank and rent, a fixed fee, £5,000 a month, they're happy with that because they was paying approximately £7,000 a month. And it sounds daft because you might say, well, why would you do that? Because you're losing out on £2,000 a month. when we've got a fixed fee kind of model, we know then how much we can spend and invest into that site because we know how much we're earning each month.
Yeah.
If it's £7,000 a month, but then it's 2,000, then it's 6,000, then it's 9,000, then it's 3,000. It's very hard for us to budget over a year where we can be at and what we can go after. So they prefer it because they know what they're paying us. We prefer it because then we've got kind of budgets in place of knowing what we can do, and we make certain that our clients make a return on investment. Like, we want to make certain that all of our customers, by the end of the year, every single penny that they paid us, they're happy to pay us. And that's kind of where we're at. And it gets to a point now where, I mean, I don't speak to a lot of the clients. We've got a big sales team that deal with it on a day-to-day. Anytime I speak to them, I just kind of say, look, I'll speak to you once a year. And that's when you're inviting me on your Christmas do. And that's kind of what I end up doing. And I love seeing them, and I love seeing the growth of all the companies. And we've got to make certain internally now, and this is a good problem to have, but it is a problem, that with a lot of power becomes a lot of responsibility. And we've got to make certain that our staff are honest, trust, and integrity, that they don't just go switching clients off and changing the clients because someone's willing to pay £200 a month more. We wouldn't do that. And I need to make certain my team are ingrained not to do that, because it's just not right. If we've built a business up from 2 vans on the road to 30 vans on the road, some of these business owners are scared because they're reliant on our leads, and we've got to make certain that we look after our customers.
They can depend on you. You basically become part of their company, and you're essential to their survival and their growth. So, and that's why they're always going to pay your invoice on time and quickly, and they're not going to be worried about
exactly that. Yeah.
About anything like that. Okay, let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. Okay, CJ's got a very broad question. Is it still possible to rank on Google and make 500 per month in some average niche without backlinks? It's quite a broad question,
yes.
But I'm sure it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, John does it quite a lot. He doesn't build backlinks, and he's built out a lot of sites. What I would say is, if you're going to try and go down that route, and you're not, and bear in mind as well, the rank and rent model, you need a sales team. You need to speak to clients quite a lot. So if some SEOs are introverts and they don't like that, they prefer the affiliate kind of basis where you don't have to speak to anyone. It just goes off and you earn money. In the rank and rent, which is kind of lead generation model, you need to be speaking to the business owners. So you need a sales team. But in this route of earning £500 a month without any backlinks, I would recommend doing display ads as opposed to lead generation or doing affiliate. You can quickly build up, probably even using AI as well. You can build up doing a lot of question-based type articles and blogs to build up your traffic value that you can quickly get to a couple of 100,000 clicks a month. And from there, then you can start earning some good money using Ezoic or AdThrive or Google AdSense or Mediavine. You need like a certain threshold for Mediavine, but they pay the most. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the easiest way is get good with your prompts AI and start building up one or two of those sites, and you don't really need the backlinks. And to be fair, in those type of industries, you might start to acquire natural backlinks because if they are informational type posts, some people seem to link to those quite a bit more.
Yeah, if they're of good quality, of course. Julian Goldie was the guy who's very good with prompts and using AI content to rank. He's on YouTube, does some good videos. Do you have an example of a local lead local lead gen site that we could have a look at? It doesn't have to be one of yours, just so that we get an idea of what one of these sites might look like.
Yeah, let me try and get one up. Can I send it in the chat?
Well, yeah, it should work. Maybe. Let me just see if I make you a moderator, it might work. Let me just look. Just say something in the chat now, and then I'll make you a moderator, and then it should allow you to put links. Okay. 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 Try and post it in the chat now.
I'm sure. Have you ever come across this this site, Free Best Rated?
Free best rated? No. Okay. The top 3 businesses, professionals. Okay. This isn't one of yours, or is it one of yours?
No, it's not one of mine. No.
No. Okay.
But these do a good job.
So these are like you're doing a search for, I don't know, carpet fitter in London, and then this pops up with the top 3 carpet fitters in London, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So that this one would be, like you said, going out. But if you go on the homepage, you can see all the different areas in the UK. And then if you went into one of the areas, you can see all the different industries in the UK as well.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
And that site as well.
And they have this, inspection report? They don't actually go out and review all of these companies, though, do they? No? They get them to fill in a survey or something?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think there's filling a survey.
Okay. Good. All right, let's move on to a few other little bits and bobs. I mean, we talked about SEO and everything and whatnot. Now, recently, there's obviously been quite a few Google updates, and you probably felt them or not felt them, depending. You've got quite a large portfolio, so maybe some sites more than others. But there's a few people, especially in my community, that maybe have got 1 or 2 websites. They've been working away. The traffic was growing. The money started coming in. But now, since the Google update, traffic's in decline, or it's completely fallen off a cliff. Now, I'm sure in your experience in business over kind of a long period of time, you've had your ups and downs as well. What would you say to someone that maybe is feeling a bit down and out at the moment because of they've dropped a load of traffic or whatever?
So first and foremost, to that question, I would definitely say keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you think is right, as long as you're not cutting corners. If you generally don't feel that your content is the best content for the pages that you're doing, you need to start thinking to yourself, why am I doing this in the first place? Try and make it that your content is the best that there is out there, for one. But yeah, I mean, growth is never linear. Growth always kind of goes up and down. You get peaks and troughs, and as long as you're moving in the right direction, that's good. So, but the latest update is actually one of the most bizarre I've ever come across, if I'm being honest. People might not want to hear that because, especially in the industry. But over the years, I've seen so many sites hit that deserve to be hit in some way, shape, or form. This one, I've seen so many sites hit that I feel they shouldn't have lost rankings that they have. That the content is good, the backlink profile is good. And I do feel, and I know John Mueller's been out once or twice saying, no, we're not reversing it, and it is what it is. But I do feel the next algorithm update, which is normally the start of December, you can't always predict this, but normally around, in the last few years, I think it's been the 8th to the 12th of December, there's normally been an algorithm update. And I feel like they will roll one out. They might even roll one out before then. But I feel they will move the dial back slightly more.
Refine it a little bit, yeah. And
refine it. I mean, that's all they do. A lot of the times it comes down to this one actually isn't anything to do with links, but sometimes it's to do with dialing up the relevance of links and dialing up the power of links and stuff like that is usually the previous updates. And we've got some like ridiculous testing pool. We're in certain private groups with some of the biggest testing pools that there is in the industry. So when it's a link based, we very, very quickly can know what's happened, very quickly know what's happened. This helpful content update one, and I've not heard this from others saying this as well. So if any viewers are on it and you've been hit, what I would strongly recommend is running a full content audit of your site and loading it, like whether you can export it from Google Search Console, load it into Screaming Frog, sort by pages that are getting 0 clicks or very little impressions, and start to have a serious kind of consideration to, do I need to delete this page? Do I need to completely rewrite it, or do I need to delete it? And They're the only things at present that we're seeing that's fully recovering sites that have been hit hard. And it's keep doing your content velocity and writing new pages that are good, but it's actually pruning content. Now, if you think about this, and if they have dialed up their system of how many pages on your site are not ranking and wasting their informational like cost of retrieval and wasting their kind of crawl budget and how much it costs for them to crawl your site, if 25-30% of your site gets no traffic, but Google's got to keep crawling it and scoring it, at some point Google's not going to like your site. And
It's costing them too much, yeah.
several times they've come out recently in the last 12 months saying that if you have some thin content on parts of your site, it will affect your whole site's rankings. Now, there's a classifier that's out there now. It's Panda again. It's a site-wide penalty, and I feel it's not. When you kind of look at a certain page, you might say, I think this is the best page. I think it's optimized the best. I think it's got the best backlink profile. But how many bad pages do you have on your site? And that's the big one that I think people need to start looking at.
Yeah. And that's kind of interesting because I think that's changed over time with SEO, isn't it? Because I'm sure that Google used to just kind of rank each page on its own merit, and, you know, a bad page wouldn't necessarily affect a good page. But now Google does seem to be looking at sites as a whole. So, you know, the dodgy, bad stuff or the weak, thin content you've got is going to be dragging down your good content. And it might feel counterintuitive to start deleting content that you've maybe spent money on or put time into. But I think, you know, you've got to sometimes just bite the bullet and do it, haven't you? If it's really not doing anything and bringing any value to your site.
Yeah.
Okay, and also I just want to kind of build on that a little bit more in terms of people that are feeling despondent about everything. I know you talk a lot about on your website, and you're very keen on kind of the mindset behind being an entrepreneur and trying to make money for yourself, and, you know, not working a 9 to 5. What kind of mindset does someone have to have in order to be successful online?
You need to be very thick-skinned, and do you know what? When we first employ a graphic designer and videographer, I make certain that they understand that when someone says, I do not like that logo that they've just designed, don't take it to heart.
Don't take it personally,
Don't take it personally. Thank them. Say, thank you very much, and tell me what you don't like about it, and I'll try to improve it. Now, I'm not saying just go and listen to every single member of staff, because design is subjective, but you have to embrace criticism, and you have to be willing to fail. So I'll revert the question back to you, Alex. How many people, very successful people, have made millions or billions sat in their comfort zone?
None. None of them have gone straight up to the top.
Exactly. So you've got to push the boundaries. You've got to get outside your comfort zone and keep pushing them boundaries to failure. Like, if you've been hit now, just see it as you pushed it too far, right? You probably built too many pages. You got obsessed with topical authority, and there's too many thin content pages. Delete them pages. Might sound counterintuitive, but you went too quick. Delete some of them, or you might have enough backlinks to cover how many new pages that you've written. Like, because that's another part that you need to be kind of building content velocity and link velocity in parallel with each other, ideally. And just see it as a learning curve. Like you said, there's peaks and troughs in what we do. Roll up your sleeves, keep going again, keep learning. We are, and I don't mean to sound in an arrogant way here, we are a very, very, very successful company. But still to this day, all my directors, myself, every single day is a school day. Every single day we want to learn something new. Every single day, like, I go home, and when I go home, I want to know how many times some of our staff have failed. Not what they've done well, how many times they've failed, because that tells me how far that we've pushed the ball. And I kind of embrace and I get excited when we fail, because we're going to learn from it. And you win or you learn. You win or you learn. There's no such thing as losing. Just treat it as being, this is a stumbling block. How am I going to get over this hurdle and go again? And you'll become a better SEO for it. And
just better in business and a better person overall, I guess, if you can if you can learn from criticism and your mistakes and your failures and take that as a feedback loop in a way of improving yourself and improving your business and improving your websites. One other thing I've seen you write about, and it's something that I learned about a long time ago, and that is the law of attraction, which some people might think is a little bit woo-woo, a little bit airy-fairy. But is that something that you still believe is important?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's an amazing book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I'd recommend anybody reading it. I think it's an amazing book. I think the law of attraction is 100% a thing. I think that it's not. I'm not saying I'm not always woo woo and stuff like that, but I'm like, if when you start to put yourself in a position of this is who I am and start to portray that, things just start to fall into place. Because when you actually believe that, of what you're saying, of where you want to be, just naturally you start to grab that confidence of where you want to be. It's just like, think of the end goal and work backwards from there. Yeah, I'm a massive advocate of the law of attraction. I think it's
this okay, and this might also lead on to my next question, which something else that I believe you're a big advocate of, and I am too, and that is networking, kind of getting yourself out there and talking to like-minded people, or other people that can really, you can bring value to them and maybe they can bring value to you. What do you think about networking, and how would you recommend someone who maybe doesn't feel like they have the confidence to go out and network?
So if you've not got the confidence, generally it's because you've not done it enough. Confidence comes with...
you just got to start doing it, and as you say, get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah, you have to get, like I just said before, like how many people have been successful in the comfort zone? Oh, I don't like networking. You've got to do it. Get up and get out and do it. And even if it's just a local, like say I'm in Manchester, if it's a local WordPress meetup, and yes, I'm not going to learn that much from SEO maybe from them, but it's just getting, somebody else might be there that's a PPC or a link builder or writes content or does something. Just keep going. Now, I mean, people are blessed nowadays. Like I remember back 10 years ago, I didn't know anyone that was good at SEO. I didn't know anyone that was good at SEO. Like I was just following people like Neil Patel and stuff like that. Yeah. And he's a great marketer, by the way, very good marketer. But the nowadays there's so many groups, there's so many people you can ask questions to. There's people like yourself that people can follow, and the information that you and the people that you're getting on is phenomenal. Like the information that's out there nowadays is so much easier to grasp and get hold of. So if you know someone's good and they're going to an event, go and book a flight to that event and do everything you can to go and speak to them. And do you know what? These people, a lot of the people that I kind of network with that are very, very successful, they're super humble, because like they're around other people that have done well. And if they're not humble, then stay clear. Do you know what I mean? But in general, we're all in it together. We're all trying to get to the end goal, which whether your end goal is 1 million, 10 million, 100 million or a billion, it doesn't matter what your end goal is. Like we're all in it for success and growth. And yeah, networking, I always say the word synergy, where if you combine forces, it creates an even bigger force than you could ever imagine.
And the sum of the parts is greater than the parts themselves. Yeah,
exactly that. Yeah, so like 1 + 1 = 3. So just get out, network. If you're an introvert, like I don't know if you ever followed Lion's Eel, like Davil Rosser and stuff like that. He's the most introverted person you will ever meet, ever. When I first went to the Chambai mastermind, really introverted, but then he goes and talks on stage in front of 1,000 people, and he looks like one of the most confident people you'll ever meet. He's a massive introvert. Matt Diggity, another not massive introvert, but how confident does Matt come across in his videos?
Yeah, really no, he does, and he's become a bit of a SEO celebrity in his own right, hasn't he?
Yeah, sure.
And I noticed that you do go to pretty much every single event that's available, I guess because you see that they're so valuable. And would you say that it's the information that you learn there, or the kind of contacts and friends that you make? Which one's more valuable?
So Alex, like obviously I'm new to the podcast train, but anybody who's pretty good at SEO will pretty much know who we am because of the private masterminds and stuff of what we've done. So pretty much every day I speak to, let's say, Matt Diggity, the Matt Woodwards of the world, like Tim Sulo from Ahrefs. I speak to a lot of high-level people that are doing well on a regular basis. What I try to do myself is go to the masterminds. I'm not a massive fan of conferences, if I'm being honest. I go to the conferences, But the talks that are on stage, some of the people that are on stage say, yeah, I didn't really give my knowledge bombs away on stage.
No,
I'm not
they
going to
keep
give
the
them
good
away
stuff
on
back.
stage.
Yeah.
I keep the good stuff back. So they're going to give you the basics. But if you can go and get and grab hold of one of these people and buy them a drink in the bar, they'll tell you so much more, so much more.
Yeah.
And the conferences are brilliant. Apart from, I don't really like the talks. I prefer
You like the stuff that happens around the talk, yeah, the coffee
exactly
before,
that.
at the bar afterwards, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the mastermind, so like we're going to Chiang Mai, we've booked a massive villa in Chiang Mai. People like Corey and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's
Of
a
course,
great
he was at
on-page.
Birmingham, yeah, and he's a big one of talking about Google, the cost that Google has when it crawls and all that kind of techie stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So Corey's stopping in our villa, Charles Float's coming over, Matt Diggity will be coming over, Carl Roof will be coming over. And we're having a kind of an open kind of, on certain days, just come over and get like 50 people over there and network. And that's every single day in the villa. So the talks on stage, all right, some of the talks might be good, but the whole networking week around Chiang Mai is great. But like you came to Search Birmingham, I bet you liked everything around the event, not just the talks. I bet the chats.
No, I liked everything around the event far more than the talks. The talks were fine, but yeah, I know I enjoyed afterwards. I enjoyed going out and just hanging out and just talking to people. And as you say, most people, even if they are highly successful, will happily just talk to you and share stuff and share their experiences, their ideas, their tips, and just generally help you out. No one's going to put you off or not want to talk to you because you haven't made success yet.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, networking I think is very important. I think just in general, and when I was a very young apprentice, my boss, I was at a very small business, he sent me out networking to like BNI meetings and all those kind of things. And I hated it, absolutely hated it. But because I was told to do it, I did it. And I pushed myself out of the comfort zone. And people that I met back then are still, I'm still friends with them, and, still opportunities and stuff comes up. So your network is probably the most powerful thing that you can have. And the old adage, it's not who you know. No, it's not what you know, it's who you know, I think rings true, doesn't it?
Or there's like, your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Which is another great saying.
Good. Well, wow, we've nearly been going for an hour already. Let me just quickly go through some of the chat that I might have missed. Question from experience. So this is a slightly techie question. My costume code, I think that should say custom code. My custom code websites rank better than my WordPress sites. Is this only me, or is this the case for other people? Have you seen any difference in terms of what you use to build websites?
We've got there's a few Shopify sites that have been hit badly as well. So it's not just WordPress sites that have been hit. There's some just clean HTML code or PHP kind of sites that are not done in WordPress that have been hit as well. Sometimes some people build sites that aren't in WordPress and really make it like super clean, and it might just be a good site that they've not been hit. But I don't think correlation is always causation. No. I think it's just, generally speaking, if you've got a lot of bad content on your site or low quality content, it's affecting all your rankings.
Okay, so there isn't really one technology. That's probably not going to be your problem. It's not because you're using WordPress that your site got hit.
No, definitely not.
Alex reminds me of Rick Grimes from the Walking Dead TV series. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Are we spinning today? That's a good question, John. And we need a few more likes. We're only up to 40 likes. And generally, I go for 88 likes to do a giveaway. I don't know. Maybe we get one of those SEO hats sent out. I don't know. Okay. Let me just finish off with talking about life and work in general. Are you able to maintain a healthy work-life balance? You've got plenty of time with your family and friends, or are you just always in the zone thinking about work and find it difficult to get the balance right?
I've got a lot better in the last 2 years. I became obsessed with SEO. SEO became life pretty much. I loved the hustle. I loved the grind. It almost took over my life. In some ways, in a good way, because I loved it. I enjoyed it. I went to a lot of the networking events, did a lot of traveling with it as well and stuff like that. But I've got 2 kids now, so I try and make certain that I'm the best dad in the world, or the best dad I can be in the world. So every day I kind of come home about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and from 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock every day, I take the kids for a bike ride. I'll take them to the park, or we do something every single day. Try and make sure I've got that quality time with the kids. Obviously, I've got the luxury of being able to do that now. I'm glad that I had kind of kids that are a little bit older, because I don't really need to. I don't mean it again. Don't mean it in arrogant. I don't need to go into the office, or I don't need to go in the workplace ever again.
No.
But I do love it. I do absolutely love it, and I still get up. We get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. Kazra comes in the office with us. Me, Kazra, Scott, and a few others go into the office, speak to the middle managers. Probably work till about 12, 12:30. Go to the gym. Then I come home, see the kids, and then I might do some work after they've gone to sleep at night. So I can do as much or as little as what I like, and I do feel like I've got a good balance now. I think what I did do, which I think is huge, is I kind of didn't like the word work-life balance and changed it to work-life integration.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of what I did is that, so like my wife is good friends with a lot of other, she actually set up a brand called SEO Wives.
Okay.
And she's like quite good friends with, she knows like, let's say Matt Diggett's wife and a few others. So if we did want to go traveling or do like a networking event abroad, they might all come and they might go and do their own thing as well. So that's where I'm saying like it became a work-life integration where I wanted my life and my family to embrace what I do. And it kind of...
Right. So they are, I understand the term now. So they are integrated rather than work's over here and family and life is over here. You're trying to bring the two together more. And I think that's nice. You know, at the event in Birmingham, there was a lot of people there with their wives and families. And it's kind of like, that's great because, you know, especially if you are traveling away for weeks on end to different conferences, you know, you maybe don't want to be apart from your family for that long. So, hey, why can't they come with you and enjoy it too? So, you know, you've obviously been very successful and you've got a ton of money. Have you not just thought, well, I might just retire and just end up on the golf course?
No, definitely not. No.
Why is that?
I just think I like what I do. I think if someone turned around to me and says, here's £1 billion now today, you can't work another day in your life, I'd reject it. And legitimately, I would reject it. I don't think it'd be good for my health.
What would you do if you didn't have work? You'd be up the pub or, you know, that kind of...
I like to keep fit, so I'd go on hikes and I'd go bike riding, or I'd go, I don't know, but I've had a few close friends sell up for over 50 million and they got really, really depressed after they sold. And then
really?
either don't have stats where people that have won the lottery and within 12 months they've killed themselves or become really depressed. And some people go, do you know what? I would love if someone give me £5 million. But the truth of the matter is, in SEO, people make big money very quickly and it can change them as an individual. And I just like to remain rooted. Like, you'll never see me anywhere, Alex, with, I've no tattoos, I've no expensive jewelry, I've no expensive car. I just like an easier life. It's all about memories. I don't get me wrong. I like traveling. I like stopping in nice hotels.
And I guess you fly business class or whatever, and you know, take a nice hotel and eat good food and all the rest of it, which is great.
Exactly that. But it's just all about memories and experiences. And to be fair,
what are you driving at the moment?
I've just got a Mercedes pickup truck.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's nothing flash.
Decent car, but nothing too flash.
Yeah, it's nothing too flash. It's next class Mercedes. It's got like a massive back boot where I can put football kits in and stuff like that. And
it's good for going on adventures.
Yeah.
What is your gym routine? Because I've seen your pictures on Facebook. You seem to be making good gains.
Yeah, so we go every day. I try and do intermittent fasting in the morning. We get to the gym about 1 o'clock. We just
does that mean you're skipping breakfast until 12 or 1 or?
Yeah, we don't have breakfast. We just eat after we've been to the gym. So me, Kazza and Scott will go to the gym each day, do probably an hour workout, and then after that we go in like doing the steam room and plunge pool, like the ice bath and steam room.
Nice. We
do like 2 cycles of that, and then come home and go out on a bike ride with the kids and stuff like that. So,
okay, so yeah, I think skipping breakfast is good as well, and just eating after workout. And then what, you eating a load of protein?
Yeah, try and straight after it, like chicken and rice and fish and veg and stuff like that. And then normally if I go out of a weekend and I have a drink, I normally have a big fat cheat day the next day. So it's that's not good. Like,
so yeah, I was going to say. I mean, you said you're getting up at 5 every day. Is that the time you just normally wake up, or you make?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a bit of a freak, if I'm being honest. Like I only need probably 4 or 5 hours sleep a night.
Oh, so you're staying up quite late as well?
Yeah, probably about 11:30, maybe 12 o'clock, something like that. Kind of fall asleep. Try and switch off about 10:30, 11. Kind of off the laptop and no blue screen, no blue light after that. But yeah, normally I'd probably say about midnight and get up about 5 each day.
Okay.
But I'm naturally waking up at that time. I'm not setting my alarm to get up at that time. I just feel I don't like for certain people that wouldn't work for them. Some people need 8 hours, some people need 9 hours, some need 7. I suppose
do what works for your body. Yeah.
I kind of think it's a gift that I've got more time awake, but people say, "Oh, it could catch up on you later down the line." But it's not that I'm forcing myself to get up. I just
and you find you get a lot done at that time. I find that time in the morning is quite productive because it's quiet and you you have the time to yourself.
From 6 till 9, then 3 hours, I'm in flow state and I get so much work done. I literally only need to work 6 till 9 every day because in those 3 hours, I would get easily a full day's working from being, if I did a 9 till 5 job and I was in the office with other people talking, then 3 hours, I'd get way more than I would on an 8 hour
for the rest of the day. Yeah. That makes total sense. And you did mention alcohol briefly there. So a lot of, again, super successful people on YouTube will say, you've got to get up at 5 in the morning, have an ice cold shower, no alcohol, and, just eat salad. But you still have alcohol in your life?
I do, yeah. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink every night. I don't have any, the thing is that the missus, she doesn't drink at all. Like, okay. She's really healthy. She's vegan, doesn't drink at all. So during the week, I'm like, I only eat kind of vegan or vegetarian type food. Well, I'll say that pescatarian. I still have fish, but then over weekend, if I'm going out for a meal with the lads, I'm going to have a steak or I'm going to have chicken. Do you know what I mean? Like,
we're having a curry and a beer, yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to having that then. So I'm not myself. I'll eat meat, I'll eat protein, and I'll have a drink over the weekend. And sometimes if I go to these events, we'll have a nice party and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I try and just make sure that I keep everything as a balance, like as much as I can. I can take it or leave it, having a drink, but sometimes, and I know it's probably the wrong thing to say, but if you're socializing and everyone's having a drink, sometimes it's nice just to have a drink, I feel. But
it does help in its own unique way, doesn't it? Sometimes, especially when you're out networking with people or whatever, sometimes it can help lubricate the conversation and get things going. Okay, well, let's, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Let me just see if there's any more questions. Multiplayer Games says, come on, guys, give a thumbs up. I ditched an Ezoic webinar to come here. Well, I think you've definitely come to the right place. Nothing against Ezoic, of course. No Code Dad says he is up at 5. No alcohol. That's normal for me. Quit drinking 10 years ago. Well, good for you. No Code Dad. It's whatever works for you, of course. Good. So we're up to 49 likes. I think as James here is here and it's a special occasion, I will do a giveaway. Phil has said that I can give away a copy of a Popcorn Theme license. So if you're not running Popcorn Theme on your site and you may be interested in getting that set up, say something in the chat now and I will do a giveaway in just 30 seconds. You all right to hang around for a couple more minutes, James?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
Okay, let's get the music going. Let's go. Okay. All right, let's see. I can get James in here too. I think we can. Say something in the chat right now. There he is. Perfect. Yes, if you'd like a copy of Popcorn Theme, it's worth $99. It's a pretty good price. Say something in the chat. You got 10 or 20 seconds. I've lost count. The Dad Gamer has asked, love tonight's video. Does James have a channel? I believe that you do have your own YouTube channel because you've been putting all the podcasts you've been on and taking a copy of them and putting them on your channel, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So where can they find you on YouTube? I think it's just James Dooley, isn't it?
James Dooley, yeah. Or
In
James
fact,
Dooley.
I have put a link in the description of this stream. So just scroll down and look in the description. You'll find a link to James's YouTube, and I think I put your Twitter down there too. How are you finding the whole podcast interview experience? Because as you said, you've kind of been keeping yourself in the background a little bit, and this is all kind of new for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident enough to do the podcast. It's just, I wanted to kind of hustle in silence and let success be the norm. And I thought that was very important for me to wait until I was ready to talk. I had a few big sales that was under NDAs. So I was worried that I'd talk about them when I was in them. And so I kind of thought, do you know what? I'm just not going to do any talks. I'll go to all the masterminds. I'll do all the private chats. I just won't do anything publicly. I'd feel nowadays with regards to AI growing, I think people need to have more of a personal brand as well. So I think it kind of goes in line with that. I think it's good timing.
Yeah. I think for sure that's going to be the main differentiator as we go forward into the future, isn't it? Real people that deliver really good information with personality and expertise and experience. They're the ones that's what people are going to want. We're going to be sick of robot written stuff. Thank you, Glenn, for that super chat. 100 Danish kroner, which I think is about enough for a beer. Thank you. See you, Gadget Mike. Hope you're all right. And how was that fire the other day? I know that you're a firefighter in Luton and the airport was on fire or something. Wasn't it the car park? I'll have to catch up on that. Thank you, Peggy Power. Great show. Right, let's do this. Let's do this draw then. I'm going to scoop up everyone in the chat right now. Who we got? Oh, there's quite a few of you. Okay. Let's go. Actually, not too bad. You've got a good chance. Simply Stumps wants some popcorn. Yeah, it looked big, Gadget Mike. I believe they've arrested someone, haven't they? Started it. I'm glad I don't have to go to Luton Airport very often. Anyway, who have we got? It's gonna be... Oh, it's close. I think Fruitback Cat said, and I think Gadget Mike has also got a copy. The Dad Gamer is asking, James, do you have a course?
I don't know.
No. You can get all his information for free by watching his recent podcasts and checking out his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Mike, you've just won. I think you've already got a copy of Popcorn, right? It wasn't you, Fruitback Cat. It was Gadget Mike. Mike says respin. Okay. You were off duty and got called in. Wow. Okay. Chris, I didn't see you in there from Niche Safari. I hope you're all right. Oh my God, it's going to land on the same one again. What the heck is up with the Wheel of Names? Actually, I think I'm going to move it on to the next one, which would be Gaz, who I know has also already got popcorn thing. Gaz, drop me an email and we'll sort you out with something, all right? Because I can't be able to keep spinning the wheel all night. Okay, let me just finish off. Okay. All right, James, thanks for coming on. Hope you've enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure.
Good. And thanks for sharing all your experiences and wisdom. I just want to finish with one final question, which is, if you could only follow one person on Twitter with regards to SEO, who would that be?
Corey
Guba. Okay. That's spelled Koray. Gubur, yeah. I think I can find a link for that. Interesting. Why Corey?
Actually, I'd say Kazra. I'm going to reverse it because Kazra's young, he's ambitious, he's done all Corey's course, so we can talk about all that anyway. So he... Corey's just on another level for content, and I think content's becoming more and more important. That's why I said Corey. Kazra is a well-rounded SEO with regards to understands good quality content, but then he understands not to build toxic links and the right type of links that are needed and the right foundations of what's needed. So as an all-round individual that's looking to grow himself, he's going to start giving a lot of knowledge bombs out.
Carl says Kazra is my choice too. Kazra has, of course, just started his YouTube career. I think he's got off to a great start, because it's not easy talking to a camera and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to put Corey in the chat so you know exactly how to spell him. I mean, I love Corey as well, but it is deep and technical, isn't it, Corey stuff? That was the thing at the Search Birmingham. I think he came on like after lunch or something, didn't he? That kind of time in the afternoon where everyone's a little bit feeling a little bit sleepy, maybe needs a nap, but then you have to sit through Corey's very thorough and in-depth and full of loads of useful information, but quite heavy. But yeah, I love it. It's that when you get into that real kind of geeky technical detail of SEO, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
All right, James. Well, I hope to see you again in person sometime soon at an upcoming event. And thanks for joining me, and good luck with the rest of your podcast tour or whatever. All right, and thanks everyone for watching, and the rest of you out there, and do follow James on all his social media. But until next time, good luck with your sites. James, stay there for a second.
Yes.